Welcome back to Real Life Fishing, and in this episode we're going to work on getting this guy installed into that gaping hole in the dash. So let's get to it. That's problematic. So the first thing is these two posts here are wider than the factory opening. So we're going to need to open that up a little bit. All right, so it's winter time. So a lot of my tools are downstairs in the shop where I'm making lures. So I had to run downstairs and get some more tools, safety glasses, respirator. We're going to open up the edge of this fiberglass here so that we can fit that in. I'm just going to do that with a Dremel. So. There's our graph in the dash. This cover will be significantly easier to remove when that's screwed in, but there we go. That's what this is going to look like. Obviously there'll be, power, it'll be lit up, all that kind of stuff, but let's see. Mount this other one here and see how much room I've got yet. I think that'll do. It blocks a little bit there. I could stand to raise this just a hair maybe. We'll figure that out later. All right, so what's all got to connect to this thing? So, this will plug directly into the back of the graph using the network port. And this will go to the NMEA 2000 network. For GPS for this unit, I opted to grab a Lowrance 0.1. These things get fantastic reviews. I've done some research online that there's an adapter you can buy for the Humminbird GPS pucks, navigation pucks, that will feed that back into an NMEA 2K network, but by default, those are the Bird's output NMEA 0183, which is not compatible. So you'd have to buy a bridge or some other stuff. But supposedly there's a $40 cable, but too many adapters, and I've got enough nonsense in here already. So this I know works, and it's gotten great reviews. I don't remember, a couple $100 maybe. This goes to my fuel sender, which is in the dash. We're gonna have to open that back up. This just gets tucked away somewhere. This is the fuel management computer. This one goes to the outboard. So we're gonna have to open up the side of the boat. Run some more cable, so show you guys how we do that. Okay, so 5 screws hold this side panel on here. Don't want to lose these. You just take those 5 screws off, and then you can pull this panel. All right, so I promised you guys I'd show you how all this wiring was run on this channel here. I had this closed up when I was rigging the boat in the one video there, and never really opened it up because I was just in a hurry to get everything done, right? So these 2 chargers here, right, these charge the 2 trolling motor batteries, right? So these were extended using Anchor duplex wire. and they go down through this hole here, right? So you can see where we're looking at, right? So they go down through this hole here, and then they go forward and run up alongside of the console, and then drop down into that compartment up in the front, and then under the floor into the rod lockers, which are, into the battery compartment, which is under the rod locker in the center, right? So then these two here, these are also chargers, and these are for the cranking batteries or house batteries, right? So these just run along and they go back into this dropout here in the carpet, the raceway, which runs along behind the live well and drops down into the bilge. So we need to run some more stuff, right? You can see there's that that blue string that I told you guys I had left, right? I don't think I'm actually gonna need that because I can just pull this stuff through here and then follow along the cables right there that go up into the motor, right? Because I've got to get two cables into the motor, right? Two. So the first is the NMEA cable, right, to connect the outboard, but I'm also installing a Yamaha troll control. So this plate here will go on the dash. It'll have a switch in it, and but that's maybe I'll break this up and do a quick video about that. But in any event, yeah. So that's how all my cables run. Not super pretty, as you can see, but it all fits in there. It gets the job done. I have no problems with any of it, and especially this Ancor wire here, right? So you see this one here, this is extra thick compared to these, right? That's because this is actually triplex. You can see that it runs into here, right? So it goes up to the remote. This is the cable that controls my bow trim switch to trim the motor up and down, which is really nice. You guys should do that. There's just there's 3 wires that come off the remote. So here you go. This is all that was required for that bow trim switch, right? So there's these 3 wires that that come off the remote here. Unfortunately, I don't remember which color is which. You're gonna have to figure that out either by trial and error, or you can probably Google it. I don't remember. But anyway, these 3 female plugs are here from the factory, and they're capped. All you've got to do is get some male bullet connectors and crimp them onto the end of your wire and plug them in there. And then on the other end, just get a momentary on switch. You know, I actually got one that said it was a trim switch. It's metal, marine rated, and blah blah blah. I got it on Amazon, of course, same place I get every other damn thing. But I think it was like 20 bucks maybe for that. But this triplex wire definitely made that a lot easier to run. You can see that white, green, and black are all in that one sheath. And this wire is actually quite a bit thicker than it needed to be, but that was all that was available at the time, and I really needed to get the boat rigged up for camp, for those of you who've been paying attention and watching a lot of videos. So let me put this back away here, and then we'll get to it. All right, so this is the Yamaha troll control here, Here's the switch that goes up in the dash. Looks like both ends of this are identical, lucky me. So the other end of it, one end plugs into this switch, the other end plugs into the tiller controls that are under the hood on the outboard. So, all right, so I am going to pull this through up behind the dash as well while I'm pulling that NMEA cable for the outboard. So I've got all this stuff done. Just to show you guys here how I am doing this, you can see that I've got the NMEA cable taped to another wire that's already running up, and that is my 2D transducer. All right, so now I'm just going to take the end of that troll control and tape that on there as well, and then pull the whole works up. All right, there we go. Took a little bit of fighting, but we got them pulled. So now we just got to take the slack back out of this other cable that we used to pull them. There we go. Okay. Now, before we close all that up on the side where these, that cable tray, we obviously want to get all this stuff connected up and get our lengths correct and all that so that we can pull the slack back into there as well. So let's go ahead and work on that. Boy, that's quite the backbone already, isn't it? Look at that. Got to figure out where the hell I'm going to put that now. But right now what I'm really concerned about is power. I need power for this, and I need power for the graph. So let's see if we can't figure out where that's going to come from. I'd like to wire these up to master power, so should be easy enough. Let's climb under the dash and see what we can find. All right, so for anybody who's curious, this is what the underside of my dash looks like. All those wires we pulled are coming right in through here. There's the main fuse box, and that right there, that round metal thing, is the back of the stereo, and there's the switch panel up there. And of course my chargers. Only one of them was plugged in. I stole the outlet for the other one to use for the Dremel. So I'm gonna dig around in here and see what I can come up with for powering all this stuff. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. So before I go screwing around and underneath the dash with all that wiring, you can see right there that bunch of stuff that's zip tied to that support. That's all the wiring from the old gauge cluster. So I'm pretty sure that one of those is hot when master power is on. So I've got my trusty DVOM, and I'm going to figure that out right now. And I'm just going to use that to power my stuff. All right, so did some digging around on the dash, and there was no red wire that went to the previous gauges. There was purple wire, which is only hot with ignition, and ground, and then of course the fuel gauge and that other stuff, right? So this right here is the end of the fluid level sensor for the NMEA 2K network that needs to be wired up. So the red is going to go to the pink wire in the dash, right? That's your sending unit from your tank, and then the black wire is going to go to ground. Need these, and these. These, and some primary wire. Okay, so we should have everything wired up. Plug these two in and see what happens. Hopefully nothing starts on fire. So it booted into simulation mode because there's no transducer connected, which is fine, but we gotta take care of that. All right, so we're gonna start up normal. Connected transducer, none. Yeah, can't pick none, whatever. We'll just leave it at the default and then turn sonar off. That's what we're gonna do. So none of the rest of this matters except for English. We definitely want English. So menu, sonar off. There. Okay. NMEA 2K gateway. Okay, good. So it sees the fuel sender. It sees the 0.1. Oh, nice. All right, so engine is not hooked up yet, but we've got GPS and we've got fluid level. So let's see. NMEA 2K. Data box. Where are we getting pitch and roll? Probably from this. Oh yeah, look at that. This gives us pitch and roll. That's pretty fancy. Obviously no speed. No depth. Let's see. Gauge view. All right, so let's go ahead and hide all these other views. We don't need to see. We don't need that. We don't need that. Don't need that. Oh, look at that. Fuel. Perfect. This is the gauge display that I want. Right, so this will have my tack, speed through water. I don't think we're getting anything there, but speed over ground we should get. Air temp we're not going to get. Temperature should come from engine 1. Yeah, perfect. Oh, I don't want that. What is that? What is that view? This. Yeah. Nice. So there we go. So there's tack, fuel, speed over ground, speed through water, oil temperature 1, engine temperature 1, and air temperature are what displays on that one. And then the next one, we're not going to get depth because we don't have any NMEA 2K sounders on here. I don't know why time is not displaying. And we're also not getting GPS position, probably because this thing is pointed at the ground, I guess, and we're in the garage. So no tank 2. No depth. Attitude is from Lawrence. That's from the 0.1. No air temperature. No water temperature. No humidity. Pressure. Pressure. We can get water pressure. You have to install another sensor though. I was hoping to be able to get trim on here too. That might show up with engine 1 though. Well, I think that'll do it for today. This will be part 1. Part 2, I'll show you guys how to plumb that into the outboard, and we'll see what we get when we switch over to this view here with the tack and all that. I mean, I don't expect that we're gonna actually see anything, right? I'm not gonna run the outboard in the garage here, but we'll make an update video on this a couple months down the road once we get out on the water. But for now, I'm gonna get this buttoned up here and head inside. So again, my goal with every video is to get 1 new subscriber. So if you're not subscribed yet, do me a favor, be my 1. Click the button down there, and if you liked it, you learned something, click like. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.